The channel Todd's Workshop just posted a video where the channel's namesake Todd was making a draw assist system for an instant legolas device, and he asked for outside ideas, so here's mine. I don't have access to a workshop or fancy software. I'm not an engineer, so take this for what it is. What you're seeing, if you haven't figured it out, is a top-down view of the device. This is the sliding bit. These things are the rails. And this is a simple flat spring. It's U-shaped, but it's been tensioned over these rails. And it simply works by you grab the end of the slide as you would, and you start pushing it against the spring. And as you can see, there's a large force pushing against you, so you have to overcome that from the spring really quite hard. And also I should point out the reason that these there's a million little force vectors is because this software doesn't support elastic materials, so this spring is simply a composite of several different pieces, but it works like a spring. And so you push this against the spring, and you have to overcome a lot of force at the beginning of the push, and then eventually the forces start pointing more and more away from you, and when you reach this point, I'll scale the arrows down so we can see them better. When you reach this point, all you have is friction. So as long as you can overcome that, you can go all the way forward. You can catch an arrow, and we'll simulate the bow with another spring. And as you pull it back, you can see it doesn't help you yet, which is what we want. I'll show you the spring force as well. Remember, this spring is the bow, so the further you draw it back, the bigger this spring force will be. And so when you get about halfway, the bow is pulling quite hard, and it becomes difficult. But at the same time, the assist spring is starting to help you. You can see that arrow is starting to cant towards you again, pushing this sled back. And if I release it, you'll see it's at an equilibrium somewhere around here. But that's a tuning thing for the real world. And towards the end of the draw, the spring will help you the most, which is what we were looking for. And to simulate firing, so I guess we can just remove this spring. So now the bow has been fired, and the string is back here somewhere. And you can start the whole procedure again. Grab an arrow and start drawing the bow back. And right at about the halfway point, it starts to help you, and it helps you the most when you're reaching the end. I think that's a simple solution. They could definitely have made this. If you can make a crossbow, you can make this. If you can make a sword, you can make this. It's basically a sharpened flat spring. Some problems might be the friction, of course. Maybe you can solve that with a roller at the end here, or maybe it's not a problem at all. I don't know. You can simulate friction in this software, but I don't think it's very helpful. And secondly, of course, there's a lot of torque. So this spring, when it's pushing perpendicular to this slide, is going to press the slide quite hard against these rails. So maybe that's a problem. I don't know. That's it. If nothing else, I hope this was amusing.